If you are an artist manager or A&R at a label, I know exactly what your project deliverables checklist looks like. Right now, the standard industry workflow is to pay for a stereo mix and then pay a second fee for an immersive mix. It's inefficient, it's expensive, and frankly, it's obsolete. I am Pat Mavromatis. I have mixed iconic records in Dolby Atmos like Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly and Feel Like Making Love, and helped generate over 600 million streams. And today I'm going to show you why the smartest artists in 2026 are flipping the script. We're going to talk about the Immersive-First workflow. I am going to prove to you that starting your mix in Dolby Atmos doesn't just give you a future-proof immersive master. It cuts your costs, virtually eliminates version headaches, and actually generates a better stereo master, faster and cheaper than the traditional way. Let's start with the bottom line. Why are you paying for the same work twice? Look at your current budget for a new single. You hire a stereo mixer, they finish the mix, you approve, they export stems. That's cost number one, and let's not forget those additional fees for the stem exports. Then you take those stems and hire an immersive mixer. You pay them to either stick to or subtly or completely transform the stereo master into an immersive master for that 3D sound experience. That's cost number two. But see what's happening here? You are paying two different people to pretty much make very similar creative decisions. That is a bit of a redundancy. With an Immersive-First workflow, we stop that financial and creative bleed. We build the mix in Dolby Atmos from day one. We balance the record once. We do the creative labor one time. So, you stop paying a vendor tax on every format and start paying for asset generation. Now, let's talk about your peace of mind. Let's talk about version control. In the old way, you have a stereo session and an Atmos session. They are disconnected. If the artist asks to turn the vocal up 1 dB in the bridge, you have to fix it in stereo, print stems, send them to the Atmos guy or gal, and keep your fingers crossed he swaps or she swaps the right file. That is a recipe for human error. It's how you end up with an Atmos mix that has the wrong vocal take. In an Immersive-First workflow, we have a single source of truth. If we need to change the vocal level, we change it in the parent session. When we hit export, that change is mathematically applied to the Atmos ADM and the stereo master instantly. For a manager or A&R person, this is freedom. You never have to worry if the mixes match. They have to match. They came from the same fader. And now, let's address the elephant in the room. The moment I tell a client, we will derive the stereo version from the Atmos file, they look at me weird. They think, wait, isn't a fold down just a cheap computer-generated collapse of the mix? Won't I lose the punch? Won't the vocal get buried? 5 years ago, they might have been right. The old downmix coefficients in the early renderer were, let's say, a bit rough. And the stereo 2.0 downmix took the mix first to 5.1 surround and then to stereo 2.0, which did create some issues. But the technology has evolved. Today, with the modern Dolby renderer and by using the Direct 2.0 algo, the fall down is no longer a compromise. When I mix in Atmos, I'm not just sculpting and placing sounds in a 3D space. I am constantly checking how that 3D space collapses back into binaural for headphones playback and into two speakers for stereo playback. And here's a little secret. Because we have so much headroom in the immersive environment, because we aren't fighting for space in a crowded two-channel bus, the elements are cleaner. The separation is better. So when the renderer folds it down to stereo, the result often has more depth and clarity than if I had started in stereo to begin with. The industry is moving toward object-based audio. The stereo master is no longer the parent. It is the child. It is a derivative of the immersive file. For the artist, this means your creative vision is consistent across every single platform. For the manager and label exec, this means one invoice, one round of QC, and zero version control nightmares. If you have a new single or record coming up, stop doing it the hard way. Stop paying for the same work twice. Let's build a single source of truth for your next release. Instead of charging you for a mix and an up mix, we charge one fee that delivers your Atmos Master and your Stereo Master, fully mastered, by the way. And it doesn't just stop there. Because we are working from a high object source of truth session, that same fee also covers what we call your Immersive Plus deliverables. Eclipse Audio for YouTube and Auro-3D for the superfan audiophiles. Click the link below to book a discovery call to discuss your next release. And if you are wondering how much money you are leaving on the table if you don't do immersive, check out this video right over here and see you in the next one.